we normally have a presentation mostly once every week.
Okay.
But for this particular one, when kids are back from holidays, the vacations, those that have graduated, because the young age is the biggest population of our nation. Now, depending on our presentations, we want to bring in the element of how can they be profitable to the society? How can they maximally utilize their potential? How can they avoid any chaos? A lot of things are going on to do with youths. When they lack something to do, they become destructive. And for that reason, we see that as a way of impacting to society, we bring in such interludes of people coming in and giving some bit of advice. Depending on the brackets, the age brackets that they could be in, we can have an advice for them.
Well, thank you very much.
Maybe you introduce your name and you can start from there.
Thank you. Godfrey Msiwe is my name.
I'm good to have you, Stephen.
I am a leader in Mutungo.
Okay.
Well, it is always good to have a discussion with the youth because it's part of the growing population. The world needs the youth. So really it is very important that they also get some advices.
Sure.
Well, we shall start with the youth having at least some practical skills. During the holidays,
Yes.
They can be engaged in hands-on trainings. For instance, some of the youth tend to neglect profitable jobs, thinking that they are dirty. For instance, metal fabrication. Metal fabrication helps in earning money. It also shapes the brain, and it is a employment creation.
Yes.
Because, for instance, where we're heading now, real estate is the real deal. Every now and then buildings are coming up, and those buildings need materials. The materials we're talking about, metal fabrication, they can make doors, they can make windows, and then also learn how to shut. That is all practical work. And in most cases, these jobs are not like for expertise, but some of them learn on duty.
Yes.
So like in the holidays, for the 4 months that I will be at home, you can practice metal fabrication. By the time you go back to school, you already have the knowledge, and maybe you have also earned something from metal fabrication. So really hands-on training is very important and key. We also have bricklaying, but most of the youth will say, bricklaying is dirty work. But people are building every now and then. They need the bricks. So if it is dirty, but everyone now, one brick is I think 1,000 something.
Of course.
So if you make a whole, if you make 1,000 bricks, that is some good money. So really we need to embrace hands-on training.
Sure.
It's very important. And then also we need to be practical. We should only not depend on theories.
Yes.
For instance, you have been at school for 6 months. Whatever has been there is classroom, blackboard, classroom, dormitory, theory. But now when you come home, at least when we learn these small hands-on training ideas, they also help us in our careers.
Sure.
And also they can help on reducing the redundancy of the youth.
There's a lot of redundancy with our youth.
Yeah, true, but then we need to find something to do. For instance, you find your father is an engineer. He's going, let's say, on site. Please give him a hand.
I'll give him a hand.
And also the parents. Let us try to bless these youth. Let us advise them. Let us not only wait for giving them only the money. Let them learn. You at home, you want the maid to be the one washing. Really? Learn how to wash. Learn how to cook. And the cooking is not for only the girls. Some boys think it is a gender
A
or
gender
job.
role.
I mean, all of us. I learned how to cook when I was in primary.
Sure.
Yes.
That's good.
So we need to make sure that these youths are encouraged and even taught how to cook.
Sure.
For instance, we had a program. There was a program by the Nabagereko of Uganda, the Chisakate. Go and learn and embrace it. So instead of sitting and now you say, I've been at school for 6 months. Now it is my time to watch TV. Yes, it is good to watch TV, but still, do help mommy with some housework.
Yeah.
Do the mopping. Do the washing. Don't only think that the washing is for the maid. It doesn't cost you anything for you to help the maid.
Nothing.
So I think also the parents need to up their game.
Yeah, because when children come from holidays, there is a television. In some scenarios, especially in these modern times, everyone has a smartphone. A parent will say, I'm taking it from you, you'll get it when you come back from school. It's not really working for that. No, and think at some point even the parents themselves should go an extra mile and be on the lookout. What can I help my son with? Not wanting them to be bound at home, because of course we respect the fact that they are caretakers, they are guardians, and they are responsible for the maximum security of these children, that when they come back home they are in our hands till we let them go back. But also releasing them to society to be aware of the vast other activities that are available. We talked about the metal fabrication, the bricklaying, the classes of learning how to cook and those kind of things. You're not going to know these things if they are withheld from home. When you give them a chance to exploit their environment and get to know, oh, there is something that can be done, I didn't know this one exists. So that chance of getting to explore their environment, know what is needed in the environment, their resources here, and how can I maximally utilize them. And that's also
yes, true. We shall call it exposure.
Yeah.
But on a good note.
On a good note, yes.
Not all exposures are supposed to be exposures to the children, to the youth.
That's
because when you expose them to other people, there are other people there who have bad intentions.
Sure.
So as we expose them, we need to caution them.
Yeah.
And then also we need to know what is killing most of us is we tend to force our children, the youth, to do what we want.
That's wrong, I think.
It is very wrong. I want my son to be a lawyer, but is the interest of your son in a law? So we also need to put that in mind. That okay, my son is studying. I want him to be a lawyer, but what is his interest?
What is his interest matters a lot.
Where is he best? For him, you may want him to be a lawyer when he's studying to become a doctor.
Of course.
His mind is set for a doctor. Then also, if you see that the child has set his sights,
you respect that.
Respect and
encourage. Exactly.
If need be, look out to your friends who are in that profession.
Which is his passion.
Exactly. During the holidays, instead of him sitting on a TV, let him reserve some time to go and practice what he really feels.
Exactly. That reminds me something. Sorry, we were at campus some time back, and my friend was saying, I can't wait to finish this degree. I give it to my father and pursue my own interests. Wastage of time.
That is where now we want your children to head, which is not right.
It's really not right.
It's not right. That's why I was saying, yes, expose them to the right
things.
Direction. If he wants to become a lawyer, if you have a friend who is a lawyer,
interest.
Yes. He said, you want to be a lawyer? This one is my friend. He is a lawyer. His family is here. Let him go and let her go and practice. By the time he or she goes back to school, he knows that I'm doing this because I want
to be a lawyer.
So that encouragement also is needed.
Important. It's very key.
Very key. And it goes back to career guidance. With the parents also, as we try to guide our children, we need to focus on their focus.
Exactly.
Me, I want to become a businessman. You're telling me to go and study chemistry. To do what? You want me to go into the lab and burn what? Me, that is not my passion. That is not my intention. So really, it is important that we try also, much as we should advise, but we should also respect their targets.
Yeah, because a point reaches in time. If a child has been nurtured, encouraged in that which is their interest, when they get expertise in this thing, a phrase was made where they say, you spend the rest of your days doing nothing because you do what you love. Doing what you love, no one is forcing you, no one is pushing you, because you push yourself in that which you've been nurtured in to grow. So yeah,
that is also very important. Then also we also need to respect the community leaders.
Yes.
It's very important because now there is this tendency: it is my son, my daughter. But the community also is there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you are not there, and this person whom you have been saying that my son, my daughter, my son, my daughter,
to the community now.
Now also the community will reject that person because of what you have been doing. So the youth out there need to respect elders, need to respect community leaders, because it does not cost you anything to respect.
It doesn't really.
The only problem is when we try to respect, again they take us for granted. So we need to strike a balance. Yes, I have respect for elders in the community, but then I should not go beyond. Do you know what it means? Say, that is daughter of so and so. She does not even greet people. That son of so and so, he does not even greet people.
Greeting is way back.
Yeah, but it is important to greet someone.
Very important.
Because imagine you are walking, you have bypassed me, I am seated, you have not greeted me, and then you knock yourself in front of there. You need my help.
Of course.
Will I?
You'll be reluctant, of course.
So it is all about self-respect for others.
Yeah. Self-respect for others begins with yourself.
Exactly. So when I say greeting, doesn't necessarily mean that you should kneel and then you greet. No.
But acknowledgement of the presence of these key people in the society.
The other one is the LC one of the area. So, hey, hi chairman, I was just saying hello to you.
Okay.
Simple. Because tomorrow you will need an LC recommendation. Say, but you always bypass here.
Yeah, it's important to acknowledge these people, because even at some point they are bridges to where we can't reach. We are just growing, we don't have so much meaningful connections, but being in dominant places, they can be bridges to where we are heading, to the links we are looking for, to the maybe an organization, or say if people come and want to invest in the youth that want to learn fabrication, they come to the LC. Do you know these people?
Exactly my point.
Do you know these people?
Because
what recommendation do you have for them in society?
Now, like I was talking. Now, imagine my son wants to be an architectural engineer. Then the site has come up in the area. The investors, you have said, will come and say, LC, could you please help us identify people who can help us on this?
Exactly, potential people.
Then how will the LC recommend you when you have been...
You're not even on his list.
No, not even on the wish list. The people you're thinking about, you're not there. And if at all your parent comes out and says, but my son is here, you say, your son? That one? No. You see how you lose out?
Exactly.
So, as we said, self-respect begins with you, and then you respect others.
Sure.
It doesn't cost you anything to respect the community. So it is very important.
Very important.
Then the other key issue is how we choose the path we go.
Yeah.
Do we have enough guidance, career guidance? Because, as I said, we tend to direct our children to the directions we want. But then have we got mentors who come and talk to them that, you see, when you do ABC, you are likely to get XYZ. So career guidance is also important.
Yeah.
But it begins also with the parents and us. Because, I mean, imagine you have gone to your father or your mother and you have expressed yourself. Believe you me, your parent is always good and will always be your
They
God.
always have our back.
Exactly. But then also the parents, as the child has taken the initiative, also sometimes you need to take the initiative.
Yeah.
Ask questions. Don't say, me, I'm not your teacher. You wait and ask your teacher. No. Teaching begins with you.
It begins with you, sure.
Teaching begins with you. So the way we guide our children.
You play a baseline role, like a dominant role that's fundamental to their career growth, career objective.
It's very, very important. Then also, we need to have good examples. We look to. For instance, me, I grew up admiring a certain general.
A zero model.
The way he dresses, his timing, his talking. I really grew up like, yes.
Okay, you want to be like him.
So, and if we have the chances, let us always help our children achieve their goals. If someone says that I admire that person, if you can afford, reach out to that person, tell the person, my son loves ABCD of you. Those guys are good and they will always listen.
They always listen.
So we need to help our children achieve their potential.
Very good, Kevin. Actually, in societies where we live, even the education system has tuned us in such a way that even when they come back for holidays, they're going to be in books, and they neglect the other bigger part of it. That there's a part that comes up. What do you have? That inborn talent. What are your skills? What are those things you cherish from within you? Even the pressure that we have from our parents. You bring back a report and you didn't perform well. They expect better from you. You lose attention to the other things, because there is a tale that was told of a girl who could never concentrate in class. She can't sit down for 2 minutes, and then even her performance, of course, wasn't so good in school. So they brought in someone who could try to focus to that which is her passion. And when the person came up and identified, was like, this girl has interest in something that keeps her active, dancing and that kind of lively. And she managed to get to that field. Someone came and was able to identify that. They nurtured that, and she just had to blossom in that department, because they just shifted attention from what the mind tells us, that a child has to be in books, perform. Of course, the future is bright when you read, but also there is another bit of it in case things don't. So that's why it's important for parents to identify those areas where a child can be helped, aside to what we know, aside to what the society has tuned us to. And this information, you maybe as the leaders of our society could also reach out to parents and just try to enlighten them of these other possibilities, because I think not everyone knows about them, that there is a side of life that kids have to be nurtured into, that they can come to embrace and love and cherish, aside to what we know going to the book.
Yeah, that is very important, because talent identification is key. For instance, we have seen people who have succeeded in playing football.
Exactly.
We have seen people who have succeeded in athletics. We have seen people who have succeeded in music.
Of course.
But then some parent will say, my son is not going to sing.
That's you, the parent.
My son is not going to sing, but he loves singing.
He loves singing.
So in a nutshell, we need to identify the talent of the youth. Then after identifying the talent, we support the talent. Because not all of us will follow the same direction. You may find my passion is not in books. You're forcing me.
You're forcing
me. Like you just said, the girl wants to finish a degree and take the papers to the father and say,
this is your degree.
Yeah, you go. Now, after that, what happens?
They follow what their heart pushes them to.
Exactly. So we also need to identify the talent of these youth. Then we encourage them, but then should be on good purpose.
Yeah.
Not because you say I want to play football, so everything is about football. No. Because there is also mindset in football. What is your mind prepared for football? So that is also a lesson. Is your mind prepared for dancing? Is your mind prepared for singing? Because if your mind is not prepared, you are singing, you have seen a beautiful girl, again you want to turn and
abstracted.
Exactly. So we need to prepare our minds.
Yeah.
We need to prepare our mind, much as we are supporting them, but also need to prepare their minds so that they be focused.
Yeah.
It's always important to have a focus. And to the youth, focus is really very important because it helps you grow in both your career and also in your talent. Yeah, good. For instance, I'll give an example of Salvador. Salvador is an engineer by profession, but he's reaping big in comedy.
Sure.
So he realized that his passion is comedy.
Yeah.
But he was an engineer with MTN Uganda. Was he focusing? You may find that whenever he would be on those masks, he thinks of how to make a joke.
Specializing when you're in your profession.
Exactly. So really it is important to identify talents and then support the talents. And let us properly utilize the talent. Because some of them are using the talents again to do not what is right. You find that because I am playing football, so I have to first smoke opium, then I will get
to the best.
Yes, we need to avoid the drugs.
Yeah.
It is very, very, very important, and it is killing our talent.
I know.
Because you're not using the talent to perform what you are doing.
You're supposed to.
No, you're using an extra ingredient to do what you think you can do best.
And that at the end